What's up everyone, and today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Armed Dragon Thunder. I wanted to update this deck because I wanted to take it in kind of a new direction as to what I was doing before, which you'll see as we get into the deck profile. But overall, it's also just a deck that I really enjoy. I find to be a lot of fun. And without further ado, let's get right into it. First off, I run the 3 level 3, the 3 level 5, and the 3 level 7. You have to run 3 of each. I remember before I was running 2 of the level 7, but this is you definitely want to run 3 of it. So, those of you who don't know how the Armed Dragon Thunders work, basically you can discard a monster from your hand to go into the next level. So for level 3, you can discard a monster to go into level 5, 5 discard monster to go into level 7, and level 7, discard to go into level 10. They each have an effect when they are discarded as cost. Level 3 will draw a card, level 5 will search a Wind Dragon, level 7 searches an Armed Dragon Thunder card, and level 10 is where you end at. So it's pretty good. So by starting with 3, you go into 3, if you have another monster extended, you can go into 5. Let's say you have 5 or 7 in addition to the 3, that's definitely going to help you get out because you can also get another monster to also help extend to get you to level 10 or to get into other things as well. The Thunder level 10 is also pretty solid. It has effects depending on how much attack it has. So now the first couple it has because it has 3000 attack, and it's like if it has 1 attack, which it's got 3000, so it's going to automatically have that effect. Its name becomes Armed Dragon level 10. 10 plus, control of it cannot switch. 100 plus, control or cannot be destroyed by battle. 1000 plus, once per opponent's turn you can quick effect. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, then target 1 monster card on the field, destroy it. And if you do, this card gains 1000 attack. And if it's 10,000, once per turn you can destroy all of the cards in the field. You're not going to get to that 10,000, but the other effects, they will apply. The most important one is the 4th one, the 1000 plus, which is the disruption on your opponent's turn. That's pretty good. One new thing I added to this was the Armed Dragon level 10, the original Armed Dragon level 10. Now, level 10 is pretty cool because first, unfortunately, it must be special summoned from your hand, retributing 1 Armed Dragon level 7. And then you can send 1 card from hand to the graveyard to destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Now, that restriction from the hand is really difficult, but the cool thing with the level 7, or the level 7, is since it gets you into the level 10, you can use the effect of the Armored Blitz to grab you level 10. So as long as you can get to the Thunder level 10, you can get to the Armed Dragon level 10. Next, I also run 3 Artillery Catapult Turtle. This you kind of have to run because let's say, for example, you don't have the Armed Dragon level 3 or the Armed Dragon Flash. Then you don't have any plays at all. But with Catapult Turtle, you still have plays, and it even skips you a step. Because Catapult Turtle, you can attribute it to special summon 1 Gaia the Fierce Knight or 1 level 5 dragon monster from your hand or deck. So basically this gets you straight into the level 5. And sometimes this might even be better than the level 3. Also run 1 of the level 10 white. With this deck, it's going to be more of a going second, because going first, this deck really can't do much of anything at all. So you definitely want the big ones that can do a lot of damage, which you're going to have the level 10 and the Thunder level 10, which are 3000 each, so they're already going for some big damage itself. And level 10 white can summon itself from the hand by banishing 2 Armed Dragon monsters from your graveyard whose total levels equal 10. So like a level 3 and a level 7 or 2 level 5s. Also run the Red MD, special summon a dragon from grave. That's always going to be good. Also run the 1 Tempest. I thought about the other dragon rollers because, Blaster is now, Redox is now off, and of course you got Blaster. And both aren't necessarily bad, but you can't really do as much with them because the Armed Dragon Thunders are winds, which I don't really know why they're winds. I never really got that. I felt like maybe light makes more sense, but they're winds, so you can use Tempest, and that's definitely really helpful. Since this is going second, I run 3 copies of Gamma Seal. Basically, I play this in the same way I play Mind Sectors. My opponent builds her board, and then I break it apart. Because hand traps just don't really do enough with this deck. considering you're going second and you want to destroy your opponent's board as much as possible, you want to run the board breakers more so than the hand traps. And Gamecill is one of the best at that because if you got a Gamecill, and let's say they got an Apollousa or Baron de Fleur, just slap Gamecill down and it's gone. Easily taken care of. Moving on to the spells. I run 3 Flash. Flash, it's basically utility for the level 3. Summon an Armed Dragon Thunder level 3 from deck. Definitely want to run 3 of that because if you don't open the Catapult Turtle or the original level 3, you have no place. Next, I run 2 copies of the Armed Dragon Lightning. Let's say you definitely really want this. I see some builds don't even run it, which I don't really understand because this card is really good and also very important. So the first effect, well, basically you have to target an Armed Dragon monster control. You can activate one of these effects. The first effect is you can gain attack equal to its level times 100, but the second one is you can add one Armed Dragon monster with an equal or lower level from your graveyard to your hand, which is definitely really good because let's say you get to level 7 but you have no monsters in your hand to get rid of. If you have the lightning, then you can add that back to your hand to discard it to go into the level 10. I run the 1 Armed Dragon Blitz. I love it and hate it at the same time. Originally I wasn't running it because of the downside. I really hated the downside, but I feel it's like where you go is now, you kind of gotta run this. So the one downside with the Armed Dragon Blitz is that it locks in dragons. But you can target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control, take 1 monster with the same name, and special summon it from your deck ignoring summoning conditions. So that's basically how you get into the original Armed Dragon level 10. Because since while it's on the field, the Armed Dragon Thunder gets the name of the original, you can use the Armed Dragon Thunder to special summon this from the deck. So you'll have both these on the field. Now, unfortunately, there aren't any Ring 10 dragons, at least that I know of, or that are even any remotely good. So we don't really have much to do with that, but we do have one other play that is also possible as well. Next, I run 3 Pot Prosperity, consistency boost. Originally, I was running Extravagance because I wanted the draw power, but it's just not fast enough anymore. I also run the 2 copies of Lightning Storm and the 1 Feather Duster. Labyrinth is looking really good this format, so I really don't want to. I want to have like a precaution against this because if we're going second and focusing on breaking boards, we definitely want to have this for the back row decks. And Lightning Storm can also be used on monsters, so it works both ways. Now next is the biggest change: the 3 Mind Control, the 1 Snatch, and the 1 Change of Heart. Now before I was running Raigekis and Dark Holes, which are still an option, but I like this option much better because Snatch and Change of Heart, you can still attack with them. Mind Control you can't, but you take that monster instead of destroying it. Either ways, it's going to force a negation, but instead of destroying it, you can take control of it. Now, of course, another August card that I don't have in the deck is Triple Tactic Talents, which is another card I'd probably run. Like, I'd probably maybe cut the Mind Control for it, or maybe cut back on the ratios of some other cards for the Triple Tactic Talents. But it's definitely a card I would run. I just don't know where mine are. Moving on to the traps, I run 3 Infinite Impermanence. This card's always good. I don't really need to explain it. Moving on to the extra deck, I'd say the biggest card is the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Now, Flare Metal Dragon is pretty good. So let's say we're able to, by chance, make this and the level 10 and the level 7, or the level 10 and the Thunder level 10. Basically, this puts us in a very game-winning situation right here. The Flare Metal Dragon, whenever your opponent activates an effect, they have to pay 500 as cost. So basically, every effect they activate, they have to burn. And with only 8,000 life points, you have a limited number of activations. So for a combo heavy deck, this is going to be really good. And since you're basically going second, blowing up their board, putting a bunch of big attack monsters on the follow-up, your opponent's not really going to have much to really cover with it. So what I do when I play this deck, one of my biggest priorities is getting the Flare Metal Dragon out. If that means I have to be stuck on the level 7, there's the worst thing that I can do. But in the event that we're able to have, like, let's say it's level 7, the Armored Dragon Blitz, and level 10 on the field, you can use the Armored Dragon Blitz to get the other level 7. Then you can attack with all 3 of them, because level 7 still has a pretty high attack as well. Or you can also use the Red MD as well, so there are plenty of options to get to it. Also run the 1 Arc Billy and activate Z-Dragon. Very unlikely to come up. I did want to have a rank 5 dragon just in case I get locked into or I get stopped around the level 5. Next, I have the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gust Max and the Juggernaut Libe. Max burn for 2,000 and Libe attack for a really big number, but it's the only thing that can attack. So this burns for 2,000, this attacks for like 6,000. Also run 2 copies of Zeus, all around solid card. Unfortunately, if we activate the Armed Dragon Blitz, we can't go into the Super Dreadnoughts and the Zeus, which is unfortunate, but in some scenarios, that might be better off. Because if you can make the Flare Metal Dragon, that's going to put you in a very good spot. As for links, I run 3 of the Hieratic Sphere, which it's really like one of the only dragon links that we can really do much within this deck, because most other dragon links just don't really do much in Armed Dragon Thunders. I know there's an Armed Dragon, or there's a Dragon Link deck, but most of those don't really work with this deck, unfortunately. Also run the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, a QCR Nightmare Unicorn, and an Axis Code Talker to help finish games out, which may not be the most likely, but if you open like, Mind Control, Snatch, you can definitely possibly get into the access code. And yep, that's it for my Armed Dragon Thunders. Let me know what you think of this deck. Think it's pretty good? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.